they house soft-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
And these are soft-boiled eggs that have had the top knocked off them. I've never been really good at that part. And what you do is you dip toast or bread soldiers into the egg. And
that is it. That is literally it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another reaction video. Today's reaction video is going to be a very, very good one. Now, I did the houses comparison, and I mentioned about the kettle and the stovetop kettle. And I was just like, well, you've got to have electric kettle, surely. Oh no, I'll put the comments on screen now. There was a lot of no way we use electric kettle, which surprised me. But again, you guys don't drink tea much, but for everyday thing, my question to you guys is, what do you do about super noodles? What do you do about pot noodles? Do you even have them? That's a question I would like to know, because you can just whack the kettle on, or do you use your stovetop kettle for them things as well? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'd really appreciate that. And just because we're doing a kitchen comparison, I got myself a cup of tea for this one. So I'm going to be drinking my cup of tea. This video is by Lost in the Pond by Lawrence. He's an absolute great guy. His link will be in the description, guys, so check him out if you enjoy this video. Hit that like button, I'll do it. Let's try and hit 100 likes on this video, guys. We're pushing it up. Let's try and hit 100 likes. Subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. I do a lot of reactions to US general stuff and sport reactions. And yeah, if you like it, hit that subscribe button. Why not? 5 British ways American kitchens and British kitchens are different. Let's go. That's your stovetop kettle, the whistle. I like it.
hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And one of those memos pertains to kitchens.
Yeah.
It's that time of year again, of course, when food sees its approval ratings shoot to new heights. And while I continue to look at the way in which British and American food varies wildly, the same is true of kitchens.
Definitely.
Sure, some American kitchens on the whole might be larger than their British counterparts, just by virtue of the fact that houses are. But for once, I'm not going to concentrate on size. Instead, today
But size means everything, doesn't it? Let me know in the comments. Does size mean everything? I think it does.
I'm going to stick a rubber-gloved hand deep down into the details of how we use our kitchens. From etiquette to gadgets, here are 5 ways that British and American kitchens are very different.
Let's go. Straight on to kettles.
Or not, but my homeland of Britain may or may not be obsessed with tea. We're so obsessed, in fact, that when everybody was worried about running out of toilet roll, we were clearing the shelves of PG tips.
Oh, you know what? I like you, Lawrence. And let me know in the comments if you guys drink tea, but you've got to go Yorkshire tea, not PG tips. And we message him on Twitter. I've got it now. Not PG tips, man. It's got to be Yorkshire tea. But anyway, I do like tea in general, so it's not too bad PG. But Yorkshire tea all the way.
And our obsession with tea can be seen through the gadget we use to make it, the electric kettle. An electric kettle is a kettle that is electric.
Yep.
That is, you plug it into the wall. Now, I don't have British plug sockets where I live, so what you're seeing right now is not completely authentic. But the electric kettle at my house is made by the British company Russell Hobbs. You simply plug it in, put water in it, switch it on, and wait for it to boil.
That's a cool looking kettle.
Any British people watching this might be thinking, how on earth do Americans make tea? Well, firstly, Americans don't drink tea quite as much as British people. And secondly, even though America doesn't have a royal family, coffee is king. Not literally, that would be absurd. But for Americans who do drink tea or hot drinks that aren't coffee, they usually have stovetop kettles. They work much the same way as electric kettles.
Thing is, I feel like if you're from Britain, you know exactly what stovetop kettle is anyway, because if we go camping or anything like that, obviously you guys know about camping, you have like a gas cooker, something like that, some potentially with you, and you have a stovetop kettle, because there's no plug for an actual kettle. So you take a stovetop one, it does your little whistle and it's great. So I do know what one is. It's just very old fashioned and it takes a lot longer to have in your house. But fair enough, it's the way you guys do it. So I rate it.
Except you don't plug them in and the only thing that you turn on is the stove. I have to say, while I don't have a major preference between both types of kettles, there is something a little bit satisfying about a kettle that whistles.
Yeah, I do rate it.
Plus, that way you know when it's done, even if you're in another wing of your house, another room of your house. Either way, when it comes to Britain, the electric kettle is not the only kitchen gadget that uses water. Washing machines in a kitchen? Sorry, America, for most Brits, this is a harsh reality. I say harsh, most of us wouldn't want it any other way.
I mean, I've heard of it, but for me, personally, every house I've been in hasn't had a washing machine in the kitchen. I've never been in a house, or at least I've never lived in a house. I have seen them at friends' house and stuff like that, but we've all got a utility store. So this one, again, it's each their own. Not everyone's going to be the same. Like there is some people with kettles in America. But I don't do this one. I've never done this one. We have a separate room, which I think is the right way to do it. End of the day, each to their own.
I was growing up, the washing machine was right there next to the kitchen sink.
Must be too loud,
It was an easy way to consolidate chores and get chicken curry in your underpants. And it doesn't end there, because a lot of British washing machines also contain a dryer in one machine. It's not a great idea because the dryer is usually rubbish. Hence why a lot of Brits still put their clothes out on a washing line. Across the pond, look around most kitchens in the United States and you won't find a washing machine. You might sometimes find them in a kind of pseudo laundry room that's attached to the kitchen, but not normally beneath the microwave. I do hope all of that sinks in. And speaking of sinks, that brings us on to this.
Okay, the sink.
Join me now.
Where are we going?
Imagine a dystopian future in which humanity has run out of dishwashers. What would we do? Well, the answer to that question might depend on the country that you live in. For example, Americans would be more likely than Brits to hand wash their dishes under water running from a tap. On the other hand, Brits might be more likely than Americans to clean them in a sink filled with hot water. This is partly done to be more economical with water use, but it's also because British homes didn't, and in some cases still don't, have mixer taps. In other words, most British homes were equipped with separate hot and cold taps.
Yeah, that was back in the day. Like most houses, I believe now have a mixer. Or at least all the new builds, 100% have a mixer. But even though we've got a mixer, you still put your water in, get perfect temperature. It's just efficient, isn't it? It's also economical, which is great because you're not using as much water. But there's no issue. Either way works.
And so cleaning dishes under a running hot tap might result in third-degree burns. However, primed almost universally with mixer taps, which help them to regulate temperature, Americans don't have to worry about that. Additionally, American kitchen sinks often come equipped with gadgets that might seem alien in some British homes. For example, and this is one of my favourites, the garbage disposal. This is a weird feature inside plug holes that breaks up waste. It's also the cause of death for 57% of people in American horror films. And the other delightful gadget that's found in a lot of American sinks is the sprayer hose. This is kind of a pre-clean thing where you spray all of the gunk off the plate and then you clean your plate under regulated warm water. So in this...
I've never heard of that before, and that seems like a sick idea. As well, not only your plate, sometimes you splash and on the side of your sink you've got a bit of dirt. What we've got to do is scoop it in our hands and throw it, you know what I mean? Or fill it up to the top. But you scoop it, throw a bit of water on it, hopefully it doesn't splash out. That's I rate that idea. Garbage disposal, it'd be pretty awesome to have one, but I've never ever seen one in my life. So not common at all in the UK. Potentially some houses may have it, but I've never ever seen one before. I only see it on like your TV programs, like your Friends and stuff like that. It'd be pretty cool to have one, I'm not going to lie.
This dishwasherless dystopian nightmare, both countries do at least have options, but what about when it comes to drying the dishes? In Britain, it's fairly normal not to rinse the soap off before letting the dishes dry on the drying rack.
Yeah, drying rack, or you just use a tea towel, I rate that.
Once there, the soap, in theory, slides off or dissolves. It was hard to explain that to my American wife because Americans, for the most part, rinse off the soap with tap water, or if you're feeling lucky, the sprayer hose, and either leave it to dry in the drying rack or may not get to it straight away with a towel. Now, I've never been passionately in favour of one method over the other, but the argument often thrown forward for the British way is that rinsing can leave water stains. And I suppose that's true if you're lazy, and thinking about it, I am. If I wasn't, I probably wouldn't make use of these.
Egg cups.
Egg cups.
Love egg cups.
What on earth is an egg cup? And I'm not exclusively throwing that question at Americans, because Americans of a certain region or generation have often told me, oh, we had those growing up.
I love them.
That was really British, sorry. But the fact is, most Americans are probably not familiar with egg cups and most certainly don't have them in their houses.
Oh, that's insane. So, again, you guys will have to let me know. Please let me know in the comments. This is a little bit of a story, off tracking from the video a little bit. Egg cups, right? When you're a kid, to be fair, I'd say when I'm a kid, I'd still have it today if it was offered to me. You get your toast, you chop your toast up, little sticks your toast is in, like that. You get your egg cup, crack the top of the egg open, you tap it with your spoon, cracks basically the top half of the egg open. Take that off, you dip your toast into it. Oh, it is stunning. You got your egg cup, your egg, you're dipping it in. It's runny, the yolk is hopefully runny if you haven't overcooked your egg, and it is honestly stunning. Let me know if you guys have ever done that before, or if you do it in another way, because egg cups are great. You can get all different shapes and sizes. It's honestly awesome. Like, they really are. A little thing, but when you think no one's had them before, they're pretty cool. Let me know in the comments, guys.
On the other hand, according to a law that I just made up, it's illegal for British kitchens not to have one.
Yeah,
or
pretty
even
much.
handed them at birth. The parents walk away with a baby, an egg cup, and 4 boxes of PG tips. Well, what do we use them for? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this is where the lazy part of Lawrence comes in. They house soft-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
And these are soft-boiled eggs that have had the top knocked off them. I've never been really good at that part. And what you do is you dip toast or bread soldiers into the egg. And
That is it. That is literally it. That's what I'm describing. Let's go.
It is the most amazing breakfast in the whole world.
Oh,
and
it's
you're
gorgeous,
all wrong.
man.
Shut up. Egg cups. I do realise that for some of you, you've just learned a new word. The perfect segue into this. Just to bring us full circle, there are, of course, many British and American word differences when it comes to food. I have done and will continue to do videos on that. But here's a short sample of variations in kitchen lingo. In Britain, whether or not the hot and cold taps are unified, tap is the word we go for.
Yeah.
And while I have heard that word applied in the United States, Americans will often opt for faucet. And sometimes when the plumbing's bad and the water won't come out, you might have to force it. Sorry, that joke only works in Britain. Anyway, whether it is tap or faucet, you will need one to do the washing up. Washing up, that's what Americans say when they just take 5 minutes to clean themselves. In Britain, that's our phrase for doing the dishes. And if we're not being lazy, we might dry the dishes by hand. In order to do this, we use what is known as a tea towel. In America, I've heard many variants on this, but you might be hard-pressed to find somebody that uses the term tea towel. Instead, in Indiana, I think I most commonly heard dish towel. In my house, I don't know about anybody else's, these can often be found hanging from the oven. I don't know why I did that, because
yeah, sometimes oven, you got your tea towel there, your oven mitts potentially there. Ours actually sits on a radiator. I don't know why. Maybe it warms the tea towel up, I guess. Or it's just extra. It's just somewhere to put it, and I guess it's warm when you go to wash the dishes. But yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Actually, both countries use the word oven, but in Britain we also call it a cooker, and that's something for which my wife has ridiculed me for 15 years. Thank you for watching this latest Vlogmas episode. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can keep up with all of my daily videos through Christmas. As ever, a big thank you to all of my patrons who...
We'll leave it at that then, guys. Go and check Lawrence out, because as you can tell, he's a funny guy, very informative videos, and a lot of it's spot on. I disagreed with a couple of them, just from my personal experience of Britain. Obviously, his is going to be a little bit different as well, because I mean, it's a small place compared to America, but it's big enough to have differences throughout the country. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. One other thing what wasn't mentioned, and I'll say what is a similarity, I guess, is we love the American fridges. Like, the American style fridges is what we absolutely love. The whole with, you open it up, it's got a freezer potentially on one side, you've got your ice makers and stuff like that. Oh, the American fridges are great. We absolutely love them, and we call them American fridges is because basically you guys did them and we thought they were a great idea. So other than that, let me know in the comments if you have anything else which you think's solely American, or something which you heard which was British and you'd never heard about before. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try and hit 100 likes on this video. Subscribe if you're new. I would seriously appreciate it. Daily reactions, 2 videos a day while working 8 hour half 5, but on a grind. Thank you to my patrons as well. They'll be in the description. I don't mention it too often, but sometimes I do. So I've got a patron. You literally gain nothing for doing it. It's just, I'd really appreciate if you did. Whether you do or not, it doesn't make a difference to me. You're all legends at the end of the day. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.